guys, this is site 133 in the F loop. So I'm just going to show you, this site is so good. I'm really happy with this. So I've pulled in this huge pull in here, and then I've got like two little paths. So I'll take you down the first path. Now, who doesn't love a campsite with bear food? So coming down into the site, you can see the neighbours are there on that side. I'm quite far away on the other side, so not, it's quite private. And initially, I've got my fire pit here. So some wood left from last night, but I'm going to get some more wood. So that's the fire pit. And then it's a good way to have a camping chair because the bench is really far away from this. Here is the bench in the sort of dining area. And then obviously standard national park bear box over there, as to be expected. But yeah, I'm not a massive fan of these metal tables. I prefer wooden ones, but it looks pretty sturdy. And of course, the usual information that you'd expect on the tables nowadays, all about being bear aware, what you need to put away, and about recycling as well. And you can see it's a standard bear box, nothing too exciting, but it's a decent size. Now down here there is no campsite, so it's just like trees. And I always like a site which is got some non-sites. Like last night I was kind of surrounded by tents, so it's quite nice. I've got a little bit of privacy. And then the tent pad is here, so they've set these pads up for you to put your tent on, which I don't normally like, but it is helpful to know what's an even surface and stuff. So yeah, there we go. Now it had just started raining, and there is like an avalanche from these pine trees coming down in the wind. So I set the tent up before I started filming just to get it ready. But yeah, it's a fair a ways, and then there's another path to the car through the trees here, which is quite handy. So I can sort of choose if I want to be in access to the car from the sleeping area or from the lounge area. But I'll just show you the back of the site. So this is obviously the end of the site, and then I can see my neighbours are through the trees on this side. So there's a big space between me and the neighbours on this side, which is really, really nice. And here's another sort of shot through the trees here, where you can kind of see a bit of everything in the site. Now, I actually camped in Colter Bay 2 years ago with Ben, but we were actually in the next site over. And so when I had such a nice experience, it was quiet. This F loop is very small, and I think it's tents only. I don't think there's any RVs up here, which does aid because it means with tent sites, it tends to be smaller groups. I mean, it doesn't always mean quiet, but it does mean a bit quieter. I had a lot of loud campers, one group of loud campers in Canyon last night, which was fine, but, well, it's not fine, but I'm trying to be nice. They really pissed me off, is the truth. So coming up somewhere like this, where you have just a little quiet spot, is just what I wanted. So I'm really, really happy. The facilities are down in Canyon Village, Colter Bay Village, which I'll take you to in a sec. The check-in process is really easy. You just go to the booth, give your site number. You book this one on recreation.gov, as this is different to the ones that are run by like Xanterra and stuff. But yeah, so I'm really happy with it. I'm glad I've set my tent up because I'm going to go back out and do some more wildlife watching, and I'm going to get some Dornans, which I love, but I am going to show you the facilities here in Colter Bay as well. But yeah, this is site 133 in the F loop. If you can snag it, I think you'd be very happy. I want to just show you just across the ways from my tent. Now, this is very central because it's such a small loop. I think this is kind of like in the same spot for all the people that are camping up here. Like, no one's really in a bad area for it. So this is the restrooms. Just check no one's inside. So you have 2 sinks, paper towels, trash can, urinal, and there are 2 commodes, just there. There is soap, which you don't always get. Some outlets if you need to charge like your toothbrush. I'm sure people put their cell phones in it too. Big mirror, and that's it. It's pretty decent actually. By national park standards, this is a good bathroom. And then coming outside, as usual, there is the camp service sink in the centre. So you normally have male, female, and it's the same up in Yellowstone. And that's where you can wash out your pots and pans if you're cooking. And then the water spigot is just here, so really easy to use. Now, I know from experience these are very powerful, but I will just show you. If I just pan the camera down. There you go. And there's a bucket which you can use to fill up and take to your campsite to extinguish your fire when you're done. So that's pretty much everything up here. It's very forested. There's all these pine trees, and I think this is one of our, I know I've not actually stayed in this site yet, but I stayed next door, so I'm going to use that as my basis. It was one of my favourite camping experiences actually here, so I've got really high hopes for tonight. So yeah, I've actually the rest of the area. So some of the information that I was given was about being bear aware, standard sort of national park information there. And then you can see this is the map of the campground, and I'm in F loop as highlighted. So it is a small loop because it's a big site, a big campground. And you can see here in the middle, you've got like the restaurants, the laundry, the showers, the stores. If you're not into camping and you want to stay in a cabin, I also have stayed in the cabins here, and there's a video on the site about that. Checkout's at 11. So it's only H, J, K, M and O that have generator hours. So I assume that's the RV sites. And what we got on the back, just some more information really about quiet hours, campfires. The laundrette is self-service 24 hours a day. Showers typically 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. but can vary. There is Wi-Fi outside the general store. And some other bits and bobs really. Thanks. Okay. And guys, just like that, my little trip to the Tetons is over. It was a short and sweet one, but God, I saw so much wildlife in this time. I'm so impressed with especially the moose. Really, really cool. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And now I'm off to Jackson Hole Airport to fly to LA. See ya.